Hello everyone, you're welcome to my channel. This is Heaven View. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope your day gone the way you want it. Otherwise, just know that all will come out well. Thank you so much. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, to subscribe, like, share, click notification button. So when we're on, you will be notified. Today I want to share a video with you, and the topic of it actually is to do with siblings. Can siblings, grow apart? The connection or the bond, just kind of grow apart as they grow older, or some people still able to keep that bond that they had as child, because some families, you see, they grow up with about three or four other siblings or even one, and as they grow older, they connect so well. That bond is still there, and for some, is different. So in this question I'm asking, in your life, did you grow apart? Do you know somebody that grew apart from that relationship they had as they were growing up? Can they actually grow apart, or can we keep it together as a family? In some cases, we want to do our best to keep it together. So I want you to listen to this wonderful gentlemen that had their own stories. Perhaps it might be able to help you as well.
A commonly asked question online is it okay that I'm no longer close to my sibling? Well, one top psychologist says it's absolutely normal and that we shouldn't expect our brothers or sisters to be some sort of built-in best friend, and that drifting apart over time is totally normal, totally fine. Would you agree? That's the question we're asking our loose men today. Weird one, okay? Because we all have brothers and sisters and we're close to them, and you have a particularly close relationship.
Yeah, I'm her neighbour. And no, that's a very small, like, I don't know anyone who's their sister neighbour, but I'm incredibly lucky to be in that position. And
this is Louise.
This is my sister Louise, yeah. For her sins, she has me as a brother. And I annoy her every day, and I love it. I climb over that fence every single day. I don't even knock on her front door anymore. I just climb over the fence. I can actually break in if I wanted to, which is terrifying. But she is my best friend, and I feel sad that it might be normalised for people not to at least try and make a best friend out of their sibling. You know, they've known us from the womb, right? Since we were born, they've known us, and they're our blood. And my sister, if I'm ever in trouble, when we were on TV together, I remember it so vividly every time, because there were quite a few times, mate, every time I'd make a mistake, she would literally be out to bat for me, armour on, being like, don't ever speak to him like that, he hasn't done anything wrong. Everyone's like lining up to have a dig at me, and she's like, leave him alone. She'll shut the door and be like, what have you done, Sam? And she'll just be like, you're embarrassing me in front of her. I don't even agree with you, I agree with them. But to me, and only to me, and then she'll put her armour back on, go back outside and have it again. And you'll never find anyone who will do that other than someone who is your blood, I don't think. And I love it.
Can I just go on the whole neighbour
That was
thing?
a clap.
Yeah.
That was a clap. I heard it.
I'm going to say something here. How the sister has been helping him. That was really, really good. Because at least it's someone that is there for you, that can stand for you, that can defend you, maybe later correct you in every way, but defend you from the public, because that could be hard for people who are stars and, into some public forum. That can be really a problem if they're being attacked out there and no one is there to defend them, and also, like he said, because you come from the womb to the same womb, so it can always be together. Some people have tried and it hasn't worked for some. depending on the kind of relationship they had when they were growing up.
And it was fate, but it was there. Good to see you, Louise. Let's go back to the neighbour thing, right? So you talked through this with her as part of a 5-year plan
Nope,
for you?
no, I did not. I was living with her, then she got her now husband, and he moved in, and I got the vibe pretty quickly. I was like, I think my time has come. And it just so happened that the place next door had come on for sale. And so without letting her know, I basically just did it. And as it was basically exchanged, I packed a suitcase. Wow. And went, anyway, guys, I'm off. They were like, where are you going? I was like, I'm out. And I took my suitcase, rolled it outside, turned left, and turned left again, and then opened the door with the key. And she was just like, what is going on? It was a mixture of shock, horror, sadness, anger, but then I think we got back to happy. And now we're in a place, man, where we both think about leaving, sort of moving a little bit further out of London every now and then, but we just can't do it because
you know, I don't know if he's hiding it or keeping it personal, if I could use that word, from the sister that he was buying a house or moving to the house next door was a good thing. Perhaps he's so close to the sister, he didn't want to be too far away from her. So it make that so if I tell her, she's not gonna lie. She's gonna say, no, 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 I don't want you in my house every day. I want my privacy with my husband. I want to build my home. You can come any other time. I mean, you can visit now and again, or once a week or twice a week, but don't live next door to me. I don't want you popping in here every day. But like you said, they worked it out. I think that's what siblings should do. We should try to work things out.
never going to get that chance again to live next to your siblings. So I'm incredibly happy. I don't know if she's happy, but I'm incredibly happy.
Amira, is there a row of 7 houses in Yorkshire with your 6 sisters and you in a line?
Sadly not. But I agree with Sam. I think being close to your siblings is important. I've got 6 sisters. Growing up, people often ask me, what was it like with 6 sisters? Were you spoiled? I think it was the opposite. The worst thing about it were the hand-me-downs. As the only boy, the hand-me-downs were terrible. My mum, in the winter, would say she's obsessed with me being warm. She would send me to school with my sister's woolly tights on under my trousers. And I thought that was completely normal. And then we'd get changed for PE, and I would ask everyone, well, why aren't you wearing woolly tights? What's wrong with you? But growing up with 6 sisters, it was like the Big Brother house. So allegiances were formed and group camps and that kind of thing. And when you're younger, you're closer to the ones nearest your age. But as you get older, that age gap doesn't matter so much, and you form really beautiful bonds with your older siblings. We all still live fairly close by, not next door, but close by. And we deliver food to each other. We see each other at least once a week at my mum's house. And it's really nice. And I think it is important. I think it's sad not to be close to your sibling. I understand there are things that might have happened that made you drift apart, whether it's careers, kids, moving cities, that kind of thing. And if I would say to anyone who has drifted apart from their sibling, make that first step. Even if there's been time, even if there's a bit of kind of bad blood between you, you want that relationship. There's nothing you can't overcome. Send a little message. Do you remember when this happened? Send a meme saying, this reminded me of when we were younger. I just thought of you. Open up that conversation. You won't regret it. You won't. And having that bond with your siblings is so special. I mean, say you're testament to that.
Well, we've had some blowouts. I mean,
this guy's story is so funny, because the tights that they were for women and for children, the woolly tights because of winter. And here you are, the mom is passing it down from the woman to him. That's so funny. I know it was embarrassing to him because other children kind of spoke up about it. But the relationship with him, as they grew older, they're able to understand each other. So if you have a sibling that is maybe 10 years older, 20 years older, you could just still, as the younger one grow to teenage, to an adolescent, or maybe late teens, young adult, you'll be able to relate with the sister, the brother that is maybe 10 years, 20 years older than me because she's mature. She understands stuff, especially when she's so, in that place of brightness that she could understand things going on, read. She's involved in current affairs and anything else, and be able to discuss personal things. But sometimes it could hurt if they're not in that position, in that place of good relationship. He's lucky it is this minimum once a week. So that's good.
Yeah, we definitely have. But like you just said, we haven't spoken for like a month before, and then I messaged her, but like, this is insane. I can't remember what we were arguing about. And I would completely agree with everything you just said.
Yeah.
Charles, a particularly poignant topic for you, of course, 3 sisters, but the late, great Lady Diana, your sister, much loved sister, no longer with us. We can't imagine what it's like not talking to a sibling, but not having them with us anymore. I mean, sibling grief, often forgotten about. We think of the parents, we think of the person who passes away, children, but the brothers and sisters left behind. It must be incredibly difficult.
Yes. I think it's such an amputation. It's like the other guys were saying, you grow up with these people, they are your flesh and blood. Parents to go, and there's the awful tragedy you mentioned of children going, but Diana died, I would think, I must ring her and tell her something because we shared the same sense of humour. And you just realise, of course, that's not going to happen. And then actually, as your family naturally folds in on itself, you lose your parents. I have 2 sisters who I adore. They're quite a lot older than me. So I don't share my childhood with anyone anymore. And that's a great loss that you can never really put right.
How did you cope with, and I'm sure
That's so sad because he was close to Princess Diana. Now she's gone. He's not able to talk to her the way they were, they were used to, and he couldn't reach. Like after he moved, like he just said, he wanted to call her and say something. That day would have been a very painful day. I think that's the reason why he can still remember it very well. It's difficult to grieve some member of a family that you care about, especially when the mom is still alive, or when maybe your sibling pass on, the mom is still alive. Because that happened to me when my sister passed. I wasn't even paying attention about my personal grief. I was grieving for my mom because she witnessed everything. She was completely devastated. She was the one that was really hurting. That who I was hurting for. That she has to be alive to experience that. So I can understand that people focus on the parents and but the siblings are not really based, and the children of that person. But the siblings are not really much focused on because it's like they matter, but they're not really a focus point. So, and that's hard. And then you have to go through that with your parents, and then maybe months later, years later, before you actually start grieving your own sister, because you have put all your heart, everything in you to grieve your mom that is grieving her child,
We all recognise how protective you feel over your siblings. If anything said bad about my brother or sister, I would track them down. I would ruin their lives. Diana was judged so publicly in her short but wonderful life. How did you deal with wanting to protect her from all that?
Well, when she started in the public light in 1980, 81, I was very young. I was 16 or something. And I used to want to go around and to sort of deal with the photographers who were plaguing her. And then, as things went on all the way through, I remember just before she died, a female journalist wrote a really horrendous article, because by that stage, I don't think that journalist was thinking of Diana as a person. She was something to make money out of or whatever. And I wrote to her an outraged letter and had a bit of to and fro with her. So I think particularly as a brother of a sister, you always feel like you want to get stuck in, really.
You bet. You bet. I think it's wonderful the way you've always protected her memory, though. I think that's a very special thing only your brother could do. So,
Oh, well, thank you.
yeah, well done for that. Hey, if you're having a row with your brother or sister, go fix it. Go fix it this weekend. The sun's going to be out. Have a barbecue. Go for a little glass of something. Sort it out, because you will not regret it.
I just want to add to what he has just said. I left that on because I wanted you to hear from him how his wisdom on dealing with separation or differences among siblings. I didn't really have that opportunity to share my grief or sorry, my misunderstanding with my own siblings because they were much older than I was, and I was hoping, okay, one day we're gonna actually just come together and talk about it. That one day never came because they passed on. So if you have opportunity to deal with that, deal with it. Because you might never know what happens. And I hope Prince Harry and Prince William see this video or watch that particular program, it will help them for them to just put aside some of these problems that they have and deal with it head on, sit down and just trash the whole thing and let there be peace among them because you never know. I know they're going to live long by the help of God, but this is because it's good to say it, but sometimes you find out in some family they say, well, they will never ever talk about it. They will never ever come together again. You know, and that really we hurt one person among the siblings or a couple of them. They like the other guy that is has 5 siblings. There will be definitely a time to argue because we all have our own opinion, we all have our own ideas and ways we want to do things. And someone can say, no, I don't want that. Okay, we're going on a vacation to this country. Say, no, I don't want to go, I want to go here. That alone can just cause some argument and quarrel that could lead to, like the guy said, for a month they were not speaking, that could lead to something like that. But they came back together. You know, I don't know if it's much easier for men to women than women to women. If you have had any experience like that, let me know. Just leave us a comment. And if you think it's much easier for brother to sister than, you know, sister to sisters or brother to brother than sisters to sisters, let me just leave us a comment. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, share, click notification button so when we're on, you will be notified. Let me just say it before I go. It's just gone to my mind. If you're in that situation, please do whatever you can to work it out. And if you've done your best and it's not working the way you, not the way you want, because sometimes most of the things in life don't come the way we wanted. If you've done your best to bring it together and it's not working, then there's nothing else you can do other than to pray. All right, then. Take care, and then I'll see you soon.